Hello, and welcome back to our channel where we talk about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change and might just make you a millionaire overnight. If you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or simply someone who enjoys stories about American history and unexpected wealth, then this video is especially for you. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and highly valued coins in the numismatic world. The legendary 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that is said to be worth an astonishing $8.5 million in today's coin market. Now, before we get into why this particular penny is so rare and how it reached such a jaw-dropping value, let's talk a little about its background and the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original obverse side featured a bust of Lincoln facing right, while the reverse carried two wheat ears, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. In 1959, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to the year 1976, which was a very important year in American history. It was the year of the United States bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Special bicentennial coinage was issued for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, but not for the penny. The Lincoln cent retained its regular design, with the obverse featuring Lincoln's bust and the reverse showing the Lincoln Memorial. However, in the midst of this historic year, a mysterious and exceptionally rare coin emerged, the 1976 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Most pennies struck in 1976 either came from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark at the time, or from the Denver Mint, which used a small d beneath the year to indicate its origin. So in that context, finding a penny with no mint mark wouldn't be surprising. But here's where things get fascinating. Among the many 1976 pennies produced, there exists a single specimen, or possibly just a few known examples, that have distinct die characteristics, off-metal errors, or highly unusual features, which suggest it may have come from an experimental or misprinted run, giving it immense collectible value. Some believe this particular 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln cent was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet during a transitional period, possibly using a special die, or may have unusual doubling or struck-through errors. Others think it may have been created as a test coin or from an unintentional variation that slipped past the quality control process at the mint. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and error both add up to significant value. The fewer coins there are of a certain type, and the more unique their characteristics, the more collectors are willing to pay, often millions, to own a piece of numismatic history. In this case, the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in question is believed to have such extreme rarity and mystery surrounding its origin that it has generated a value of $8.5 million on the private auction market. Yes, you heard that right, $8.5 million for a single penny. Now, of course, not every 1976 penny without a mint mark is worth that amount. Millions of regular pennies without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia and are only worth face value unless they are in pristine uncirculated condition or feature a special error. But the specific specimen being talked about here is believed to be in flawless condition, possibly a proof-like strike with full red luster and razor-sharp detail, which is incredibly rare for that year and typed. Let's talk about what to look for if you want to check your own change or coin collection. First, look at the date. Make sure it clearly says 1976. Then look below the date to see if there is a mint mark. If there is no D or S beneath the date, then you might have a Philadelphia penny. Next, closely examine the coin's surface. Look for any doubling of the date or letters, unusual coloration, incorrect metal composition, or striking errors. If you see anything unusual, take it to a professional coin dealer or numismatist for evaluation. The best way to authenticate and appraise a coin like this is to submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. If your coin is indeed the ultra-rare variant, it will be graded and certified, which drastically increases its market value and opens the door to serious buyers and collectors. Now you may be wondering, who would pay millions of dollars for a penny? The answer lies in the psychology and economy of coin collecting. High-end collectors often compete fiercely to acquire the rarest coins, especially those with compelling backstories or historical significance. The 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny fits that mold perfectly. It's a coin with mystery, history, and unmatched scarcity. Some collectors have been known to spend fortunes acquiring coins that complete a set or serve as crown jewels in their collections. When such a coin goes up for auction, whether it's at heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or a private collector's sale, the bidding wars can drive prices to astronomical levels. And yes, reports suggest that one such 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny was recently appraised at $8.5 million and is currently held in a private collection. Whether it will reappear at auction remains to be seen, but it's a shining example of just how valuable rare coins can become when history, rarity, and condition aligned perfectly. So what's the lesson here? Check your change. Examine every penny. Look twice at those coins you might otherwise overlook. That copper-colored cent sitting in your kitchen drawer or coin jar could be hiding a fortune. And while finding the exact $8.5 million penny is incredibly rare, it's not impossible. People have found ultra-rare coins in pocket change before. Why not you? Thanks for watching this deep dive into the fascinating story of the 1976 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and why it could be worth millions. If you found this video interesting or helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video on rare and valuable coins that might just be sitting in your house right now. And remember, one man's penny might be another man's fortune. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck with your coins. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel that brings you the most exciting and valuable updates from the world of coin collecting. If you're passionate about rare coins, hidden treasures, or the potential for turning pocket change into big money, then you're definitely in the right place. Today's video will absolutely blow your mind as we dive deep into the amazing story of the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has shocked collectors and investors across the world with its incredible value. Believe it or not, one of these pennies has been appraised at an astonishing $60,000, with a recent market value pinned as high as $59,275. Yes, you heard that right. A small copper coin, weighing just 3.11 grams, with Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile stamped on the front, could potentially be worth more than a brand new luxury car, more than most people's yearly salary, and possibly even more than your house, depending on where you live. So stay with me as we unpack the full history, the design, the rarity, the reason behind the missing mint mark, and exactly why this specific 1980 penny has collectors going wild. Let's begin with a bit of historical background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It marked the first time a real historical figure, rather than a symbolic image, was featured on a circulating American coin. The original design was done by Victor David Brenner and included the initials VDB on the reverse. Over the years, the coin has undergone several design changes, but Lincoln's profile on the obverse has remained constant for over a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. Now fast forward to the year 1980. This was a time of economic transition, inflation, and a renewed interest in coin collecting. The United States Mint was actively producing coins in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Traditionally, coins minted in Philadelphia either had no mint mark or, in certain years, featured a small p. However, for Lincoln cents, Philadelphia did not use a mint mark until 2017. So, technically, a no-mint mark penny from Philadelphia in 1980 would be normal, but here's where things get interesting. Most of the 1980 pennies that were produced are common and have little to no additional value beyond face value or copper content. However, some rare and highly sought-after varieties of the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny have surfaced, showing exceptional minting errors, die varieties, or flawless, uncirculated conditions that set them apart from the hundreds of millions of others. These specific coins are what collectors are hunting for, and what has driven the value of a single 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny to a staggering $59,275. What makes one of these pennies worth that much? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and demand. First, condition is king in the world of numismatics. If a 1980 Lincoln penny is found in pristine, mint state condition, we're talking about MS 67 or higher on the Sheldon grading scale, then it can command serious attention from top-tier collectors and auction houses. These coins are nearly flawless, with sharp details, no visible scratches, and brilliant luster that has been preserved for over 4 decades. Second, certain mint errors and varieties can drastically increase value. Some 1980 no-mint Mark pennies have been found with double dies, off-center strikes, or other rare anomalies created during the minting process. These errors are not supposed to exist in large quantities and are incredibly hard to find, which makes them extremely valuable to the right buyer. Third, demand is everything. Coin collecting is an emotional and nostalgic hobby for many people. The Lincoln cent, being such a staple of American pocket change, has been a key focus for generations of collectors. As demand for top-quality, rare varieties continues to grow, so does the price. Auction records have shown that serious collectors are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands, to add the best examples of rare pennies to their collections. Let's talk real numbers. How do we get to that shocking $59,275 figure? Well, according to multiple auction reports and price guides, a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny-graded MS 67 read by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, and featuring no flaws whatsoever, has sold for figures exceeding $50,000. The record-breaking example hit the market at over $59,000 due to its pristine condition and rarity. And as the market continues to evolve, that number may very well rise. Even circulated versions of the 1980 no-mint Mark penny with minor mint errors can fetch anywhere from $20 to several $100s, depending on their quality and uniqueness. So before you dismiss that jar of old coins sitting in your closet, take a second look. There may be a hidden treasure in there waiting to be discovered. Now you might be wondering, how can I find out if my 1980 penny is worth anything? Here's what to do. First, examine the coin closely under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for clear doubling on the letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or anything unusual in the design. Check the condition. If there are minimal scratches and the coin still shines like new, you may have something special. Then, consider submitting it to a professional coin grading service. A formal grade and authentication from PCGS or NGC can add tremendous value and make your coin eligible for auction listings and serious buyers. Also, don't forget to check online marketplaces like eBay or Heritage Auctions to compare your coin with others currently on sale or recently sold. This will give you a general idea of what collectors are paying for similar coins in today's market. And if you ever feel unsure, visit a reputable local coin dealer for a professional evaluation. Wrap it all up. The 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might seem ordinary at first glance, but under the right circumstances, it can turn into a life-changing discovery. With a potential market value of $59,275, this coin proves once again that history, rarity, and condition can turn even the smallest piece of copper into a prized collector's item. Keep your eyes open. Check your change and never underestimate the power of a penny. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin content, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare penny in your collection. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin be a golden opportunity hiding in plain sight. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. In today's video, we're going deep into the fascinating story of the 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1981 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has been sold for an unbelievable price of $89,467. That's nearly $90,000 for just one penny. How is this possible? What makes this specific penny so valuable? Could you have one in your own collection or even in a jar at home? We're going to cover all of that and more in this complete video. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into one of the most surprising stories in US coin history. First, let's talk about the basics of the 1981 Lincoln cent. The coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been used since 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 and continued through the end of 2008. So the 1981 penny falls right in the middle of this memorial reverse era. Now, when it comes to mint marks, most coins struck in 1981 will have either a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, especially if they are proof coins. But the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the majority of Lincoln cents, did not place a mint mark on its coins during this time. That's why most 1981 cents without a mint mark came from Philadelphia, and for the most part, they are extremely common. Why on earth would one of them be worth nearly $90,000? Here is where things get interesting. The value of any coin comes down to three major factors: rarity, condition, and demand. In the case of this 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, all three factors aligned perfectly to create a coin collector's dream. Let's begin with condition. The 1981 penny that sold for $89,467 was graded MS 68 red by a top grading service. That grade means it is a mint state coin with full red luster, no signs of wear, and essentially flawless under magnification. Mint state 68 red is incredibly hard to find, especially for pennies from the early 1980s. Most pennies from this time have been handled, circulated, scratched, or spotted. Even straight from a bankroll, you'd be hard-pressed to find one in this elite condition. According to population reports from PCGS and NGC, very few 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln cents have ever achieved the MS 68 red grade. In fact, only a tiny handful exist at this level, making them almost unicorns in the coin world. The coin that fetched $89,467 did so because it was one of the absolute finest known, possibly the finest in existence. But condition alone does not explain such a high price. The next factor is rarity and grade, which we've just touched on. Even though billions of Lincoln cents were made in 1981, only a microscopic percentage survived in such pristine shape. That kind of rarity adds huge value for collectors who chase the best of the best. Then we have demand. Lincoln cents are some of the most widely collected coins in the world. There are millions of collectors building Lincoln cent sets by year and mint mark. Many of them focus on getting the highest graded example they can afford for each year. So when a top population coin like this one comes to market, wealthy collectors and registry set builders compete for it. That bidding war is what drove the final price up to a staggering $89 for 67. Let's also not forget the historical backdrop of the 1981 penny. This was one of the final years that the U.S. Mint struck cents using 95% copper. In 1982, the composition changed to copper-plated zinc, and that change marked the end of an era. So 1981 pennies are the last full year of copper cents. That adds a layer of interest for collectors who value pre-zinc era coins. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1981 No Mint Mark pennies? First, check the date. It should say 1981. Then flip the coin to the obverse and look closely at the area just below the date. If there's no letter, then it's a Philadelphia coin. But that alone doesn't make it valuable. The real money is in the condition. You'll need the coin to be in pristine uncirculated shape. That means no scratches, no fingerprints, full original red shine, and ideally not even a bag mark. The best way to evaluate your coin's condition is to submit it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it under a microscope and assign it a grade on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. To be worth thousands, your coin needs to grade at least MS 67 red, and to hit the record price of $89,467, it would likely need to be a top population MS 68 red. You might ask, how common is that? Unfortunately, not very. For every million 1981 pennies out there, only a handful will grade MS 68. But that's what makes this such a thrilling treasure hunt. With billions of these coins originally minted, there are still unsearched rolls and jars full of old pennies in attics and basements. That perfect gem could be hiding anywhere. So here's what you can do. Start checking your pocket change, search through your old penny jars, and visit your local bank to order penny rolls. Focus on finding 1981 pennies that are shiny, red, and uncirculated looking. And if you think you found a flawless one, consider having it graded. You might be sitting on a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating coin with a deep history, high collector demand, and the potential to be worth an absolutely staggering amount of money if found in top condition. While most 1981 pennies are only worth face value, the rare few that survive in MS 68 red condition can bring in life-changing cash. The current known high sale for this coin stands at an incredible $89,467, and there's always a chance that a future sale could break that record if a finer example is discovered. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you learned something new or you're inspired to go coin hunting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos on rare and valuable coins you might already own. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny or if you're going to start searching through your change. This is your chance to become part of numismatic history. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck on your coin treasure hunts.